I think it's something that's definitely changed in the last 12 months. If you went back 12 months and asked a range of particularly North American capital about investing in France, it would have been quite a difficult sell. Certainly over the last year that has changed dramatically, perhaps not as dramatically as places like the Netherlands, but there's certainly, in our view, there's been a lot more to a US capital doing business in France. And I think that is somewhat through to a greater education of actually what's happening in the real estate market vis-a-vis what you could read in the paper, the international papers about what's happening politically and economically. I also sense that that is down to the fact that a number of other European markets have come somewhat more mature more quickly, and I think there is some element of investors now looking at France because it seems to be like a good place to invest, where a number of markets have very rapidly moved up in price and competitiveness.
Of course, when we set about investing any fund, we want a spread of risk, and the spread of geography helps in that sense. I think we would always identify and always have identified France as one of the larger markets and more liquid markets. So there's no doubting the scale of the French market. We've just seen the figures. It's a very large market. Despite everything, it's a very liquid market. And so it has its place. But we are focused on particular deal dynamics. We're looking to turn investments around in a relatively short period, 3 to 5 years. Typically, we're rather 3 than 5. And therefore, we're looking very much at what the value-add elements of any investment are in our program. If they involve significant vacancy or leasing risk, then that must be right now a worry in France, because the end-user markets are very weak. And the question, of course, is for how long and what's going to change. But there's no doubting liquidity. So we would always put France high on the list of our targets. We have made an investment in our current fund, our fourth fund, and we have investments still from each of our last 2 funds in France.